I think it's coming. Let's see, it's going live. Oh, no, here, we're there. We're live. Say hello.
Hello.
So, hello, everyone.
Hello.
This is the June update. It's been a while. We just go and dive in. The first thing first is I want to give a big thank you to everybody, because everything we're going to talk about next couple of minutes here in this video would have been possible without the donations given, the prayers made, the caring smiles and hugs that have been given along the way. So thank you all very much. Hey, John, where you going? Let's make a video. Come on. Wait. Oh, is mine? You want? This is Daddy's video then. Daddy get toy? Okay. You want to go? It's pool. You want to make a video? Okay, open. You can do it. Where's the muscles? Oh, pull. Pull. Okay. Yeah, it's not slippery. Oh, let me see. Come on. I'm not it's over here. Come on. Come on here. Say bye first. Say bye-bye. You know how you doing? Say bye-bye? No? Okay. All right. Sorry, guys. Let's dive back into this. So the second thing is, again, we are all here in America now. Families back together. We're live back in Maryland, in Prince George's County, in New Carrollton. So how's everyone doing? Well, Marty, my wife, she has been getting assimilated quite well so far, and she's working on getting a job in the DC area right now. Ariana has adjusted just fine. She's really enjoying catching up with the grandma love time, with her American grandmother Ginny here. We wanted to try to keep some things going from Japan to here, try to keep her a little bit grounded in something. So we were lucky and we were able to get her into a swim class right away and a gym class as well. Two things that she did in Japan so far, most of her life. So she's really enjoying both of those. She's making lots of friends. She's not here to say her name, but the gym class has a really nice friend named Savannah. She's made a friend with one of my old shipmate companions. Jenny's young daughter, Rosalind, was very nice, and they've become friends as well. And one of my really old friends from right down, about 3 houses down the street here, Jeff and his young son, Austin, are also, she is dying to see again as well. As for me, you may notice I'm looking at my notes a lot more than usual. Yeah, the chemo's definitely started to fry my brain a little bit. Yeah, so, and this last infusion actually, so this was the ninth one. So every time so far, things have been getting worse, mostly. The diarrhea, I don't know if it's not necessarily not gotten worse. I've just gotten kind of used to it, or like deal with it better. But the pain, the soreness, the nerve damage, again, my fingerprints are evaporating somehow. So other things are getting worse. But usually, well, not usually, but every time when I go in, I feel normal. Okay, even going in for the 8th one, it took pretty much to that the Monday right before I went in, and I was like, oh, okay, I feel good. I woke up on Tuesday. I was like, oh, that's babe, it's me. It's Jeremy time. Okay. This is the first week I walked into the hospital, and I still felt sore. My fingers are still tingling. Yeah, and the nurse noticed. I guess I didn't come in with my usual cheerful demeanor. I didn't seem quite as bubbly as I usually was. So she came talk to me. I said, no, it's okay. I just, it's a little bit hits home harder when you don't kind of get back to zero. So, but she was very quick to point out that, most people go through what I'm going through after the first or second time. So, count your blessings, and I'm trying to. And anyway, speaking of the chemo, yes, my brain is fried. That's not why I'm wearing this. I don't know if this even be called a muscle sweater vest. I don't know. This is not a conscious, fashionable choice. I wore this so I could do this next part, because people keep asking me about the chemo and what's happening. So what I do every other Tuesday, I go into the hospital. I get there about 7 o'clock in the morning. I check in, I go in, and they access my port. So here in my chest, under this big bandage here, there's a piece of plastic under my skin that you can see part of it here that goes up to my neck and goes right into one of the arteries that goes down to my heart. So they access this port, and there's two holes. There's an interior and out. There's not exterior, like a medial and I forget the other one they call it. And it was just two holes, so they rotate each week, and they little needle like that big, and they hook it in. They draw some blood. They have to make sure everything's okay. I have to have an iron. I have to have enough stuff in my blood to to deal with the chemo. Luckily, with the exception of the first week I went in, I got a little bit of iron transfusion just because I was still still recovering from the surgery, so my iron count was still a little bit low. But since then, I've been fine. They take the blood, everything's okay, and they bring the chemo in and they start cranking that in my system. I get the first 3 hours of the chemo is on a drip through the IV, which hooks up to the end of this thing. There's a little, here you go. Whole bunch of stuff's coming out here. So this part, the green part here, is this part what they first put on me. They hooked me up to the IV and the whole big rack, and they gave me fluids, and then they give me the first chemo. It's a 3-part chemo. They give me the first part of it, that starts, and after an hour, they do a second part, which has a big brown bag over it, something about photo, it can't get sunlight or something. Anyway, those two pump for a while, and when the second one's done, the second one's like an hour. So the first one's still going, but after the second one's done, after an hour, they come back in with like a Who Framed Roger Rabbit like size needle, which has the oxyplatin, which is the thing that causes like the cold reaction. I can't touch anything cold. And they take that and they actually take everything off that they inject straight into this tube, and they kind of just take a pause about halfway through and a little jig, and they keep going, and that's the last part of it. And then after that, I gotta hang out for a little bit, make sure I'm okay, and then I go home. They give me all my papers. I go home and I meet a nurse at my house, a very lovely lady named Renee, who will then come by. This is at the house, and every 2 weeks I have to go, not FedEx, but some delivery service comes by with my chemo pouch, this thing, and she comes by, she hooks it up, pushes a bunch of buttons, makes sure that little green light's flashing, and it pumps away. Again, I went on Tuesday. This is Wednesday night, like 9 o'clock-ish, I guess, 8:30. So I get this plugged in to the port here, and it runs for 21 more hours, because again, it's 3 hours first in the hospital, then 21 at home. So then tomorrow, usually around like Thursday around like 11 o'clock or noon, she'll come back to the house, unhook this, clean out the thing, flush it out, and then pull out the needle, and then I'll just go on my way with my usual chemo side effect routine for the next couple of days. Yeah, and that's about it. So if you guys want to see, this is what, most of my friends are rather young. I've talked to my aunts, some uncles, some second aunts and uncles, whatever my mom's blood relatives. Actually, we saw a couple of those last weekend. It was really nice to see them. But when I say a port, most of them know what it is. I've called friends that are nurses; they know what it is. But for most people, we don't know what a port is. This is a port. It's a little plastic thing under your skin that goes right into your vein and goes right into your heart, so they can feed medicine into your system, or my case, chemo. So there you go. So that's the chemo treatment. Oh my God. Okay. Try and get this under 10 minutes. So we got speed through here. Okay, what's next? So what we need some good vibes for Marty's job search. If you got some good vibes to spare, send them her way. We still want to schedule some visits for Ariana to make some new friends. I'm talking to you, Robin, Ariana. You want to meet your kids? Melissa, Arya, try and meet your kids too. So hopefully we'll get in touch with you guys sometime soon. And anyone else, even if your kids are old. Amy, I saw your kids bleach blonde hair. It reminds me that when I had that orange hair. It's very classic, very nice. Anyway, and then that's it. Oh, on a side note, Ariana, so, again, so as the first thing I said was that big thank you. None of this would have been possible. Again, we would not have enough money to get her into the gym class and swim class. It wasn't for the donations. And that's a huge, it might not seem like a vital thing or a big thing, but she just moved halfway around the world. And, before she could even learn language, she knew what a swim class was, she knew a gym class was. So once she got in those classes, she was so much happier and so much more at home. Even though the teachers were saying English, she knew what she had to do because she was doing it already. So again, it was really nice for her to feel comfortable. It really helped her get used to America much, much quicker. So thank you very much. And again, I still need to. And we also had enough. We put a good chunk, not a good chunk. We put what's left so far aside in account for Ariana for the future in case things turn for the worst on Friday. Friday, I'm getting that in a second. Sorry. See, this is what happens when I look at my notes. I stop looking at my notes and I start rambling. I mean, I ramble anyway. So now I got a half chemo fried brain. So now I'm like, yeah, it's not good. So anyway, for me, this Monday, I go in for a full order of CT scans, the drink, the blood, and also another one, not the PT, some other scan I got to do on Monday. And then I got to go see my surgeon, Dr. Sardi, back at Mercy Hospital for my first actual post-op full-on update. I've actually seen him in the parking lot going to get my chemo twice, talked to him for a little bit. I've seen my oncologist. He comes in and sees me once every 4 times. Actually, he came back for the fourth one, and then I kind of got, I think partly because I didn't have any problems, I was doing okay. I kind of when you go, if you're going to go in the chemo ward, some people, they have problems. They maybe someone's puking, someone needs help. I just kind of go when I get my stuff and I get out. For most part, I'm kind of low maintenance, I guess. But that kind of backfired because I was supposed to get these scans after the 6th or 7th scan. So, we're the 9th scan now. So we're a little behind schedule with this, but that's okay. That's a good thing because maybe that means things are going good, hopefully. But that's the point. So Monday I got to go in. I do all these scans. Friday, I go in to see Dr. Sardi and get an update on my condition. The possible outcomes of this appointment are way too numerous for me to even try to lay out for you now. They're too many for me even to worry about, and I'm not going to. Maybe I should, but I don't know what that's going to accomplish. There's a lot of bad things that can happen, a lot of good things. There's a bunch in between, but. For those of you who have some spare prayers, some spare thoughts, some well wishes you want to use up, what we are hoping for, as I always like to do, I always like to try to tell people what exactly, for the surgery, what exactly do you want to pray for? What exactly are you hoping for? So what we're hoping for is the scans, they come back and they show that that none of the mucinous cancer, the initial cancer what I had, which is the PMP, it's a mucinous cancer. We're hoping none of that has grown back. Again, they tried to take all they could find. They put the chemo watch track, kill tiny little pieces. But if one of those little pieces survive the chemo, it can start growing and growing and growing. So we're hoping that that's not happening. And the other big thing that we're really hoping for is because the cancer went so long undetected in my abdomen, so it was it was there for at least 5 years, having a little party. And I know tequila was there. And what happens with tequila? Tequila comes to the party. It's a madhouse. And I drink lots of tequila. So it's been a party down there. And again, it already got to my diaphragm. So we're hoping that nothing else snuck through before or during the operation. So there's no cancer on my lungs, because that, of course, that's a big game changer. And we're also hoping that all the I'm going to totally butcher this pronunciation, but endometrial cancer. Anyway, so it's it mutated. The mucus mutated into more traditional cancer, which is the more fibrous kind of cancer that what you would consider a tumor. And that, of course, was in some of my lymph nodes when they took them out. So the other thing we have to check on is if that that cancer was able to spread anywhere through my lymph nodic system. So we're hoping that's not the case. We're hoping that my lymph nodes, nothing went through there, and that everything's good, that everything's still clean, that there's no visual evidence of cancer, of the disease. That's what we're hoping for, and we'll know on Friday. And I would try to put a video up relatively quickly after that, whether it's a good or bad news. I would try to do that as well. And hopefully I'll have my usual sidekick with me today. I think she's trying to play Scrabble with her grandmother. She's 3.5 years old. She's trying to play Scrabble. She doesn't cheat anyway. That's why I love the girl. She's definitely brave, and she's adventurous, and she's going to be great. But again, guys, thanks anyone for watching. Again, thanks for everything. And none of this would be possible. You know, this room right now, some of you guys who have known me for a long enough time, this is actually my old room where I grew up. Yes, I have blue walls. Yes, I love those blue walls. But, you know, right in front of me, there's a nice Disney kitchen little set that her grandma got her. And we were able to get her some chairs and some other toys. You know, I'm a basketball maniac, so we got the little basketball for her. You know, none of this would have been possible. I mean, we might, you know, who knows what would happen if it wasn't for all of you guys. The strength you've helped giving us through your help, through your donations, through your caring, through your thoughts, through your prayers. So thank you very much. And hopefully I'll be here long enough time to repay you in some form or fashion for all your kindness. Thank you. Have a good night.